For him, so Italo wants to get to the final. Went there last time out, didn't get the win. It stung a bit. Let's see how he goes about getting back there right now. He's already on excellent numbers. He's in the tube right here, behind the curtain, disappearing. Out he'll come. He'll just waft one out. The air reverse on the face, just adjusting that wetsuit cuff. There's a bit of a flex as well between the maneuvers. And now a ramp for him, Ferreira. Holy. He is having a hell time out there. Massive alley-oop again. And he'll snap the finish as well.
Italo happy to win. He was reminded of that wave pool event where he lost on a close decision. And you can kind of remember the heartbreak that you can go through as an athlete, as a world champion, when you lose, when you put so much into it. As we know, he's all out no matter what he does. And there's almost a recovery period of time for Italo to find himself again. And when he won last year in the back end of the season on the podium, he's like, I'm back. And that was a long time since that pool event. So he's right where he wants to be, world #1, as you see his road to the final. Jesse, round by round, quarters, semis, and obviously the final, he had the highest combined heat total. So it made sense. As soon as we saw that 9-1-3 in the quarters, you're like, oh, yeah, he's going all the way.
I mean, more than fair, right? Like domination to the max right there. And just the intensity that he kept throughout this whole event, how consistent he was solid, barely committed any mistakes, both on the lefts and rights. And it was impressive to watch, and actually not impressive. It was just very fun to watch, to be through. Like, the first day of the event, everyone was kind of still tight, and then the second day got better, and they just blew up on the day like today, and that was just fun to watch.
It looked like he was really free to do his brand of surfing. He wasn't making the wave force him to do any maneuvers.
Yeah, definitely not. I think the word that comes to mind is spontaneity. He kind of always keeps you guessing, which makes it super exciting. He also was willing to take a lot of risk. He decided to start, really pushing it in sections where people hadn't done that yet, putting that. Basically, with big risk comes big reward, and we saw excellent scores from him. And I mean, with maneuvers like that in that section of the wave where we hadn't seen that done yet, he was just pushing the boundaries, and sort of without a doubt, like you just knew he was in that form. And kind of said it at the beginning of the day, but if he gets in one of those rhythms where he's getting that fired up, he's getting amped up, he comes in from his surfs, he doesn't know where he's walking, he's bouncing off the walls, you can kind of just see that he's on that trajectory to the final, and he's just in the groove. He's almost unstoppable when he gets like that.
It's a state of mind that you get. Like, it's something that only happens very few times in the career. And for those guys, they're actually able to multiply that by ×10, but every other normal human will get that 5 times their whole career. And you just got to take advantage of it, because that's when you start performing your best and just reacting to what's in front of you. Doesn't overthink. Actually, doesn't even think. He goes into a blink. The whole day just passes by, and everything went naturally. It's pretty impressive and fun to watch for us that are here.
World title race is getting very exciting, you guys. Italo back in yellow. He said, man, it's been a long time. MEO won pipe. He just drops 1 spot down to #2 in the world. How about Miguel Pupo, solid in 3rd, Ewing to 4th. Leo Fioravanti dropped from 2nd to 5th as your current WSL Final 5. Pretty exciting to see what might happen at stop #3. I'm expecting a lot of guys to try to gun for those spots. Felipe's done so well in Portugal in the past. He's going to look for redemption. I don't know if we could predict the Final 5 for the end of the season this far out, but fun to see some fresh names in there.
No doubt. Yeah, it's very far for you to predict, and you have to expect those names. Like, if you talk about all the stops that we have ahead of us, like a name like Felipe, it's pretty much the guy to win each stop, so it's like you got to count him in. But yeah, I was still only on the second. You just finished the second event, and let's see what's going to roll out for us.
Pretty exciting. Stop 3 for Portugal. Let's go to the women's finals day. Just like Italo, Katie Simmers had the highest combined heat total from the quarters, semis, and then through the win over Molly Picklum. Katie was sensational and drew some new lines. I mean, representing the Roundhouse Cup back out the back flick.
Yeah, it was so epic to see. I mean, she had, Bella Kenworthy in the early quarter here today, and she just started to click into gear. She was greasing everything up. She was looking fired up. But for me, when she stepped into that semi-final is when I was like, wow, okay, she's really starting to experiment here. sort of starting to gain that confidence, and that's when she started experimenting with that big roundhouse carve. When we just saw that big trademark rail grab hack too. But yeah, the semi-finals for me, it was where the penny was dropping, and I was like, okay, this moment right here, she is well and truly on her way to sort of surprising the judges. You know, this wave, let's be honest, can get a little bit repetitive. She's showing something totally different, and this whole event, that creativity has been rewarded. When we've seen something different being done, it's rewarded in spades. So she also carried that through to the final. I mean, Molly was also in form all event, and I just think the momentum though was with Katie. It's undeniable the sort of lines she's drawing. It's just so fresh to look at, and especially when you're a judge and you've judged. How many total waves did we have today, Joe? It was 420. It was upwards of 400, right? You want to be doing something that's pretty special, pretty creative, and that's exactly what Katie did.
Oh, that was insane. Yeah, the semifinal you're referencing against Gabby Bryan, just power surfing, but Katie switched on. She loved the back and forth. It wasn't like getting rattled that someone else was getting a score. She was lifting with the rise of the performance today.
She surfs with freedom. Like, it's different than most people. There's only a very few people that comes to mind in history of surfing that have that. Like, it's light-footed. Like, it's light on the shoulders. It's pleasing to watch. It's just different lines, and she's not scared of doing what she thinks she should do. And it translates into massive numbers and winning world titles.
It's a generational talent. Katie's wearing the yellow jersey. Remember, Tyler Wright got her at Pipeline, so Katie's got it back. Molly Picklum jumps to second. Caroline Marks to fourth. And how about that? Sawyer Lindblad, Rookie of the Year last year in fifth. And her good friend Gabby Bryan right behind her. That's a very exciting Final Five picture at the moment.
Super exciting. I mean, to me, it's just incredible for me that Katie's gone back-to-back finals in just such a tight turnaround. For those athletes to get from, you know, the islands of Hawaii all the way here to the desert, I mean, it was a matter of days, hours really, and to perform like that and under pressure, it was just super clutch.
Let's get caught up with the Shapers, how competitive they get with the Vista CT Shaper rankings. How about this? We've had a shift after stop two.
I was going to say, I saw Sharp Eye right there on the top, and it's been kind of domination of Mayhem lost surfboards, right?
Yeah, it totally has. And Channel Islands had the lead after Pipe, so they'll just drop to second. They got some points from Vahine Fierro, Bella Kenworthy. They've got some new contenders on their team, but cool to see Sharp Eye kind of taking the top spot because they were dominating the scene a few years ago.
I like seeing number 5 right there.
Same.
Number
5.
You should be able to have your power surfer. Like your shaper could maybe pick a power surfer just in case they only have 1 or 2 guys on tour and they can double the points, because if he had one, he would have been right up in there.
Yeah, I have to totally agree with Jesse. Super stoked to see Boston there. And yeah, Katie representing proud.
Wow.
Pride of Oceanside there.
Just imagine if they had one other team rider. You know, that's amazing. But Katie's carrying everything for Team Boris Designs. That's pretty awesome.
There are not that many Caitlin Simmers in the world, though. So, like, it's hard to get that many points, you know, with only one athlete.
Exciting times. Stop number 2 comes to a close. We're really looking forward to the MEO Pro Portugal. Check this out.
Bom dia and good morning. Welcome to WSL's the MEO Rip Curl Pro Portugal.
Pulls up and under, still traveling. Colapinto! The MEO Rip Curl Pro Portugal is the next stop. One of our favorites on tour, the wild beach breaks of Super Tubos. It could be big, 6 to 8 foot teepees. It could be really heavy. It could be really fun and have some big air sections. You really have to be ready for everything.
No doubt about it. I love going back to the tajinha, as we call it in Brazil, and I can't wait, you know, some fish soup, whatever. South winds, north winds, everywhere is offshore there. Yeah. It's just a great place.
Being on that peninsula, somewhere's good all the time, and there's sandbars everywhere. That's going to be really interesting where this whole title race goes at what can be, at times, like the European pipeline.
For sure, it can definitely be pipeline, but there's room for it being, you have to be adaptive there, I feel, because it can be a mixed bag. You could rock up, it could be 10-foot offshore draining pipes. It could be, you know, the A-frame beachy. So you could really throw a blanket over, you know, the surfers there to who's going to be a winner. We've obviously seen Griff get a lot of success there in the past, his brother as well. But, I mean, yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it all go down.
Oh, can't wait to get that one